just a few people.
No, it doesn't.
And I've learned a lot from all three of you on what
Yeah.
to do and what not to do.
You don't need an army of people, or you can have an army of people, but what you need is good people.
Yes.
You need wise people and good people, and you need people that know how to bring out
Yes.
what is in you as opposed to trying to make you in the image of them.
And people who listen and go, this is what I'm doing.
And don't
And
belittle you. We've
yeah,
talked about that at the recording studio, that you can be nice and very polite, but you also have to be you have to know what it is you want, and you have to be able to articulate that,
exactly.
and not be swayed. Um, not be swayed. So you do have to have come from good schooling and good roots, and so that you do know how to handle yourself in a situation. Because I know when I don't like the sound, and I know when I'm not comfortable, and because I've worked with great producers and coaches and songwriters, I understand what the real deal is, and I have to be
That's
able
like,
to I have to be able to ask for that, and walk myself into situations where I'm going to be able to receive that, or else I need to walk out.
I know I've been in the same situation before. It's, if people will not listen as much as they talk, it's best just to leave and find someone else to work with.
Yes, and something that someone told me a long time ago, which I think is true. If all somebody does is tell you how great you are, you need to also go out and find a different scenario, because
Yeah.
it's great to be told how great you are, but if you never get any counter um, information or advice or input, you're not growing anymore with that person. So it's good to have someone who thinks you're the cat's meow, because that's why they want to work with you. That's part of it.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to have that dialogue, and you have to be able to grow, and that is.
Well, the guy at the studio, I mean, when I was in recording this last time, he didn't go, oh, that's great, that's great, that's great, to everything. He goes, let's go back and do this one again because you sounded a little off.
Yeah,
And he played back, and I go, I am off. Thank you.
right.
And it wasn't like he was telling me, you will go back and do this. He said, you sound a little off. Tell me if
Let's
you
see
think so.
about that. Yeah, and so the other thing is, and it blows me away sometimes, what people's baseline of, they're ready. They're ready to go into the studio, and I think, oh, really? Um, because that's not the way I was raised. Um, you Stevie Wonder's first producer and co-singer and writer with him, Clarence Pauling, would say, you need to have every single thing worked out, every note being played,
Yeah.
which you do because of your arranger, but you need to have the vocal, you need to have it flawless before you go in the studio. You don't go into the studio, and that's why somebody might say to you, a little this, a little that, but
Yeah.
they're not going to control your whole vocal, because they're
Yeah.
freaking out, because they're going, what is he doing? They don't have to like your style. I mean,
Yeah.
I coach people who like all different styles. Some of them don't really motivate me, and some of them do. But you have to be able to give honest feedback about it. But yeah, you do need to be flawless before you go to the studio. I mean, you're human, but everything
that's
should
like
be
the song I'm
ninja
working on
on.
now, Light of a Thousand Stars. That'd be like me going in and saying, okay, I'm going to raise this up an octave without rehearsing at all.
No, and so see, that's what we do. He has this song ready. We've worked on it. He's created it, and I've been his fingers on the piano to work it out. And now, from my viewpoint as his coach, we go back and we woodshed the vocals, and we do it and we do it and we do it until the notes are flawless. Then you're ready to go into the studio, because you're
Yeah.
going to have issues there anyways. You're human. You're going to have a little this, a little that needs to, but that's, and you have to have, that's a standard of excellence. And unfortunately, not everybody's got such a high standard of excellence. I'll just leave it at that.
I would say a little worse, but I'll go with what you said.
Yeah.
Because there are a few artists out there that you listen to a few of their songs, they're really good artists, but a few songs, they just suck. And it's nothing that they're doing wrong, they're just being told constantly, you sound great, you sound great, you sound great.
Well, and they're
And they
using
get,
things like autocorrect and this and that these days. Excuse me, if you need to autocorrect maybe one note in a song, I hope you don't even have to do that. But that lowers and erodes the standard of excellence, because
yeah,
who cares if you've got it right there? We'll just autocorrect it, and that is a form of artistry. I don't want to prejudice against that, but that's technical wizardry. That's not. So yeah, I don't care if I have styles that I prefer, but I can appreciate the excellence of someone no matter what style they're singing. But if there's flat and sharp, or it sounds electronically
yeah,
altered, I'm not so.
in studio wise, because it is a recording that is going to be seen and heard by a lot of people, I don't have a problem with a little autocorrect here and there. The thing I have a problem with is when they started autocorrecting stage performances.
Yeah.
That's not,
It's not fair in a way, because the people that really can sing I mean, there's millions of people who can just sing their butts off, boy, and this technology sometimes it's just not authentic, and I don't really.
and
But I like the fact that you are authentic, and you're producing everything organically.
yeah, and that's what I want to do, because when I go on stage, I don't need an autocorrect for my vocals. I want to give something real to the audience, not some manufactured vocals. And honestly, it's an insult to other artists
Oh
to use
yeah.
it.
Oh, sure it is. Sure it is. Um, but it's the way of the world. But
True.
in some corners, but I think I just stick to the corners that's not the way.
Yeah. Well, I think we've talked enough today.
Yes.
And gave a basic introduction of Mary Kathern and the work we do towards the music that I'm recording.
And here comes Joey. That is
And he's really scratching the
way
door
of
this time.
the way of the world since COVID.
Yeah.
We are at home, and so is my dog.
I'm just glad they reopened shows.
Say what?